all you got for now is just pop this up, grommets up. I put this cover to the side here. You can organize piece by piece. And I'm gonna have to take out this whole air cleaner. I want to work really comfortably. I mean, I know I'm gonna only work on this side, but I'm still gonna take out all these covers and just to have a nice, clean, clear view of everything. So that's just an 8mm. Unscrew that, pop it out. This guy you can pull back. If not, just take out the four flatheads. Right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. And obviously this sensor. You pull this clip back and then press the tab down, pull it out. This whole thing comes out. Here, the valve cover, you just pry it off. It's basically the same thing as this cover here, you just placed on grommets. So take that off, and then I do always put a rag in the throttle body just to have that always covered. I don't want any dirt getting down there, debris, etc. So yeah, see how far I can get. But yes, I'm just only supposed to need to only work on this side over here, because obviously this is where my inlet pipe goes to. You can see there's my water hose, there's the thermostat pipe, everything else. So all I really need to do is just work on this side, but I want to do this as comfortably as possible. And I know this ain't gonna be a easy cheesy one, but at least I know it's pretty easy in taking out the water pump, because the water pump is on the timing chain side, and that water pump ain't leaking. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave the repair as is for now. Repair that O-ring. Here are the O-rings right here, big and thick. So basically the same O-ring for both sides, for the water pump side and for the thermostat side. And all I have to do is take the pipe out, replace the O-rings, pop it back in. Alright, so all I really needed to do was just release the hose clamps right there, the 8mm over here, the 8mm over there. Release the hose from here, take the whole housing from there. Now I got everything cleaned out, and now you see this hose here. Pull back the clamp and pull the hose out gently. So what I did was I used these little pliers, went around it, pried it a little bit just to loosen it up, and then pulled it back. So all I got left now is start playing around with this side and focus on the thermostat inlet side. So I got that clamp right there, the hose clamp. I gotta drain the coolant. I gotta get into the back. See, the muffler's right in the way. But my focus will be that pipe. It goes all the way to the back here, all the way to the water pump. Alright, so this is the coolant temperature sensor. I had to take it off because it's gonna make it a lot easier to take off them the whole cooling inlet pipe. So I had to take it out to take out a 10mm or an 8mm, I think it is. Might be 10 or 8, but we'll see that later on. And then I'm going to clean this guy off real good with a brass wire wheel. And the things that I have to take off back here was the two hoses. One for the heater, one for the reservoir. And basically I have the whole system draining now. But that coolant sensor went right inside here. So this I had to remove, the coolant sensor I had to remove because I couldn't take out this 10mm with that coolant sensor sticking out all that sideways. So it was like basically like this, just sticking in the way. It was just sticking in the way of my bolt. So now I'll let this guy drain for a little bit, and once that is dealt with, I'm gonna take out 3 10mm that are back here, this one up top, and then there's 2 more on the bottom. And I'm hoping I can pull out that whole pipe and maneuver my way with this whole pipe out of there. Alright, so yeah, they are 10mm bolts. These 2 small ones go on top, like on the highest spot of the block, bolting in that whole bypass with the or water inlet with the thermostat. And this long one is the only solo one that goes on the bottom. Now I'm just basically trying to pry it off gently. And I have an O-ring there. Alrighty. But yeah, I'm just gently trying to pull this thing off. And I might have to take out this whole bracket with the neutral switch cable and just to have more slack and space. But let's see what I can get to here. Alright, so I did manage to get it out. And I got it here. One O-ring here, the other O-ring are in the corner. And I don't know why my phone doesn't want to focus, but hey, I'll make it focus. Right on my finger. Come on, there we go. You got one O-ring right here. The other one's inside here. I just gotta pull this hose out. And I got this square O-ring right here. I'm gonna try to call the dealership tomorrow in the morning, see if they got it. If not, I'm just gonna silicone it back in place. And I did manage to get it out. So this is a tricky part. I got it to come out angled like this from the back. So you just gotta basically gently just start cocking it up, then straight, and pull it out. And there's basically everything removed. There's that outlet there where the O-ring seats. And then you got the water pump over here. Right there. There's the hole for the inlet pipe. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out this inlet, seal, put some O-ring on it, put the new O-rings on it, and call tomorrow in the morning, see if I can get this brand new. If not, I'm just going to silicone it back in place. Alright, so here's the cooling temperature sensor. Cleaned it off real quick. Nice and shiny. Put some mega tape on there just to seal it up. Then just pulled out the pipe. All I did was just hold it with one hand on here, pull it over here with another hand until it just came off. I'm just going to clean up the whole housing here, make sure it's all nice and clean. Grease it up real nice with some chafers. And pop it back in. And wait till tomorrow for this O-ring. Really thinking heavily about it. Might put some silicone on it or get a new O-ring. I'm really thinking about it. But that's what I got for now. Alright, so here's the two old O-rings. They're both the same diameter, thickness, and everything. Nice thing about this specific case of GM, you can see, hope my camera focuses in on it, or I'll just go macro. See if it lets me go macro. I don't think it will. So right there, you can see it. All cracked and old, and that's it. So take out the new one. Alright, with spack. Slip it on there real nice, as tightly as possible. You don't want to stretch it out, but you have to stretch it out a bit just to put it on. And there it is, all nice and tight. And put it on the other side. Break the pack. Just nice and around. Clip. There we go. Ready for reinstallation. So this side goes on this side, but I'm going to put some grease on it. I did clean it as best as I could with a brass brush and just went around as best as I'm going to get it for now. So I'm going to polish it. I do have tools to polish it with, but I'm not going to do that. Clean it off. Put some grease, just a little bit. Alright, it's all greased up. I'm going to grease up the O-ring also, just a little bit. Just want this thing to slip in. Alright, it's all greased up. Want to install it. Go in as straight and gentle as possible, just slip in. There we go. And that's that. And I'm going to go on the other side, on the water pump side, clean it all up, make sure everything is bone clean, and install that side. I'm going to give you guys a visual of what this pump looks like through the back. And there it is. Pump looks pretty nice. Doesn't look bad. I'm going to wiggle the shaft, see if it has any play. Hope it doesn't. But that's the pump. That is the pump. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and wiggle it. Nope. Feels pretty good. Feels solid. So, yeah, I say this pump is still pretty good. Alright. It's going to grease up that flange, or that inlet housing from the pump, and grease it up real good and make sure that that pipe goes in pretty flush. It's 2008, so it started leaking at least, I'm going to say probably a year and a half. 2008, 2020, 12 years of seal service. So, yeah, I'm not even going to reinforce it with silicone. I'm just going to slap it back in with grease and torque it all back on. And yes, I will use silicone for that back. If anything, I just warranty it, and if it comes out leaking, I just take it out again and seal it. See, I have no issues going back to it and just sealing it up. Because I've sealed other O-rings like those square ones in the past with no issues. It should keep on working the same way. So, but yeah, you got your nice visual. And this is what I'll be sealing with silicone, just in case. Right here. Great. Alright. Right there. That big square there. That will be sealed with silicone. So yeah, I'm almost done with this job. So the way I'm going to do this is I will be using some silicone on this O-ring and then some silicone on that other surface down there. And the silicone I'll be using is the right stuff. Gasket Maker Permatex, 90 minutes. And it should be pretty good. So this job by tomorrow should be pretty cured up. So that's basically it for now. I'll keep on filling you guys in as I go. So just in case I forget, which I won't now, 2 little bolts that go up top go at 10 Newton meters, also the lower one. This is going to secure your O-ring seal. And then your coolant sensor is going to go at 20 Newton meters. This is all per the Pro Demand website, but this is going to go in at the very end. So once I have everything blocked in, this guy in the water pump, this guy bolted to the block, this is the last thing I'm going to put in. Then I put on the hoses and everything else. And again, I don't add the hose detail on how to deal with that, because my summaries are really for intermediate to knowing mechanics. You know, people who need to learn from scratch have to, you know, work it out and take it a lot more easier than my summaries, because it's my videos are pretty brief. But yeah, 20 Newton meters, and what I just said for this, just forgot, and that's it. It's gonna be lubing that guy up, lubing the water pump up, and reassembling everything back. I just want to give you guys the specs that I found on my website. So I always encourage that you guys do your own research, make sure everything's correct. But this is what I'll be torquing it down to. The tool I'll be using is my Pro Bike tool torque meter. I believe it goes up to 20. Yep, that's its max. That's its max at 20 Newton meters. And then it does go down to 10 also. So I'll be doing the torque meter with both of these. So I'll be using this guy. Alright, so just in case, after lubricating the water pump in the back and this O-ring, I will slip this glove over this O-ring, this whole tube. Because as I feed this tube in there, I don't want this O-ring marring, touching anything hard or anything. I want to treat it as best as possible as I feed it through back in. And again, just like I showed in the video, I pulled it out at an angle, then popped it out. That's the way I'm going to go right back in. So it's going to be a little rough, but hey, I'm not going to pull the engine out just for this inlet. So alright, so this is going to be the hardest part of the job, getting this inlet back in. So I did use silicone on the O-ring for that inlet, and I put silicone on the surface where that O-ring mates. And you want to use the lower bolt first to get at least 1 or 2 threads in. Then you're going to put the 2 bolts up top. It is rough. The uncomfortability of this part of the job is 9 out of 10. My skin is pretty thin, so my hands do fit comfortably in here. Have just the length of my fingers to get by this job, but I don't know what's your situation, but it is uncomfortable. So yeah, now that I got the two bolts up top, that one and the other one on the other side, I'm going to take out the lower one, make sure that it goes in straight and flush and not cross-threaded. Because I did get it in 1 or 2 threads. I didn't want to push it too much because I don't know if I was straight or not. I was going in by hand, so I just wanted to go in the thread on the bottom so I can at least align the 2 top ones first. And now I'm going to go with the bottom now that the 2 top ones are in. They're almost perfectly flush. There's the other one right there. Now I'm going to put the sensor in it. So yeah, get ready for it. It's a fun one. So you can see my inlet is there. It's already in. It's perfect. No issues. Trying to find a little piece of. There it is. Never mind. So yeah, there's the pipe. The O-ring in it. I'm just going to take out this big bolt on the bottom and make sure it's going in straight. And that's it. Then I'm going to torque it down to the specs I told you guys earlier in the other clip. Alright, so I got everything put back in place. I got my hoses back, sensors put back, coolant sensor torqued back to 20 Newton meters, bolts torqued down to 10 Newton meters. You can see the silicone gush out a little bit. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for a nice seal. So, yeah. Then we're going to look at the pipe real quick. This is how the pipe looks. Wait, sorry, let me see. Alright, so here's the pipe for this side. There's everything torqued down. And here's the pipe on this side. Now, silicone does say that I can get it back up and running in 90 minutes, but I'm just going to let it stay overnight, a couple hours. So in the morning, I'll just turn it on and bleed out the coolant. And that should be it. There should be no leaks anymore. Hope this video helped you guys out. And remember, this is the hardest part right here. Putting that housing back in place. Once that's back in place, everything is easy cheesy. So yeah, got them hose clamps back. Now I'm just going to start reassembling everything back because my main focus area for leakage will be the pipe and that housing inlet for the thermostat. Make sure that doesn't leak neither. So We got 3 areas to look at tomorrow. I hope this video helped out. I'm just going to put everything back. So I'm just going to put the air filter back, the hoses, the valve cover back, everything reverse procedure. So you guys got the gist of the job.